Hey everybody, Jamie Kelly here. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Season 3 of the Approximate Podcast. Be sure to join our Patreon for only $5 a month to see all of Season 3's episodes in full HD video. That's patreon.com/approximate podcast. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. And to everyone who's tuned in, we love you all. And now, on with the show. Kitty, fucking stop it. God damn it. Fucking cat. Yeah, you. Oi. Scrapple. Stop it. All right, cut. We're done. Fucking cat. God damn it. Hey. Sydney, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jamie?
I'm doing great. You with your name. Yes, you.
Me? Sydney's
Cass.
got
Cass, how you doing?
Yeah, you can't forget my name. It's right the fuck there.
I totally thought I said Barbie for the longest.
No.
I mean.
but yeah, I am also here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the joke for people that are watching and listening is that Stephanie and I have been in Vegas for 4 years, and you guys are some of our closest industry friends.
Yep.
Just amazing folks. And I always get your name wrong.
Every time.
Every time. Can't help it.
We even try to make it easier for you and tell you, just think of ass.
Right. Cass.
Jamie gets it wrong, not me.
No, Steph's on top of it.
I got a thing with hard A's.
Hard.
That's sexual, right? We can make a bit out of it.
Hey, it's all about the ass, all about the A.
That's right. Cast at the ass.
We get very anal here, okay?
Jesus Christ. And so it begins.
All right. 1 minute in. We're going to speed run this one.
Oh, this is a wild one.
First of all, how you guys doing?
Oh, fantastic.
I'm fucking tired, yo.
Yeah, you had a busy right. You had a busy day. Tell everybody about your day.
I had therapy. That sucked.
Oh, my God.
Therapy sucked today. I'm just going to say it. It sucked.
Well, we all...
Like that's
It's hard work. You did it.
today's first chore was therapy.
It was. It was therapy. And then I was also dumb and I didn't eat until like literally therapy started, and I'm shoving a bagel sandwich down my mouth.
I fucking love bagel sandwiches.
Same though. And then after I finished therapy, it was like, time to fucking get ready to film. And so then I got ready to film, and then I filmed for like 4.5 hours, so almost 5 hours. I don't fucking know how long time is.
Well, I gotta say, because we were talking before the show, that is an impressive number, 4 or 5 hours for what you were up to.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
We filmed 4 fetish videos today. It was super fun. We got some feederism, some weight gain encouragement, some giantess, some spanking, and there was and burping, because apparently I am the best burper.
On demand. You also did some photography, didn't you, today?
Oh, no, I didn't end up because we ran out of time.
Oh.
Yeah. No photography.
So the 5 hours was, you hit the max for fetish content. You didn't.
Yeah, we had a lot of chatting today because it was with a friend. So you know.
Yeah.
Do you script these out?
Hell no.
It's just all improv.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's just like, hey, here's an idea.
Yeah.
This is a very general gist of it. Like, you're going to be a schoolgirl. I'm going to be your stepmommy. I'm going to spank you. Let's run with it. Who knows where it'll go? And then it goes.
What are you shooting for? Are they like 5-10 minute chunks? Are these like full 20-minute scenes? What are these?
10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10-minute fetish clips makes sense. Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm filming by myself, I'll accidentally talk for like 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit, how did I make this supposed to be 10-minute long video a 30-minute long one? What did I do?
Right. Right. Wow. And now you're here.
And now I'm here talking more somehow. Right. I really don't know how, to be honest.
Right.
I'm doing my best.
Colette, how was your day?
Jesus. I'm gonna need one of those necklaces just for Jamie, just for Jamie's benefit.
She's still gonna say it wrong.
She's gonna mispronounce it.
I'm surprised you hadn't called her pink. Shit, Jamie.
Amazing. For people that are watching this, you can see pink hair. For listeners, rocking brand new pink hair.
Yeah, I have a whole brand new look, and if you're not subbed to the Patreon for the video exclusive content, you're not seeing this right now.
Fucking missing out. What's wrong with you?
There's not a single video in my entire catalog with my look right now.
No, there's not.
Not a single one.
And your shirt matches. And
that was an accident. I was actually planning on wearing my hoodie the whole time, but it's actually you know,
Kind of warm, right?
Yeah,
It's
today
warm.
was unseasonable. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, I've been around. I don't know what the question was, but I'm here.
As your day, have you been as busy as Sydney?
Oh yeah. So I was not filming today, but you know what I was doing instead? I was re-editing videos.
Oh.
Old content.
The grind.
I don't know if I can say specific platform names here.
Oh, you sure can. If
Oh,
you
I can.
want,
Okay,
if you'd
so,
like.
So ManyVids, piece of shit.
Oh wow! Oh, coming in
She
hot.
said name names,
hot.
and then
Shots
she's
fired.
like, insult.
All right, that was across the bow. I haven't even gotten to the meat of this yet. So ManyVids, my main platform. I make the most money there. You know, it's not a secret. They recently came to me with saying like, "Hey, your content, you got to re-edit your stuff because you got references to outside locations."
Oh, fuck me.
And I was like, "Oh, are you talking about like my logo? It says like Cassie Cummings .com or whatever." And I'm like, "It's just a vanity redirect to ManyVids. Like, how are you gonna bust me on that?" And they were like, "No. You have an outro on your videos that encourages your watchers to speak to you on your email."
Which is something that I had given her the idea of doing.
I was soliciting like custom video conversations.
Right.
Yeah.
Still, all my business is conducted through ManyVids.
Right.
All my customs go through ManyVids.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was saying, "Hey, you can email me. Here's my email. We can talk about custom videos." They were like, "Oh no, nay."
Did they like recently change their TOS?
2
or-
years ago.
and
And
they're
it-
now they're fucking with you about it.
It doesn't say anything about no email addresses.
Dear listeners, never in the entire TOS. I've looked.
She spent a lot of time
Because
looking.
they're talking about 100 fucking videos they want me to re-edit.
Oh my god!
They gave me 14 days to do it.
Wow.
14 days. So I'm going back with them, right? I'm going back with them,
Yeah.
like, hey, your TOS doesn't say shit about email addresses. I've already addressed the fact that my vanity email redirects back to ManyVids. So, like, what the fuck's going on here? And they're like, we'll give you 20 days. I'm like, okay, all right, so fuck me then.
A whole another week on the
I'm like a front page talent on your site, and you're gonna bust me like this? Like,
God.
come on
yeah,
here.
you're top 50 on their site, and they're still gonna treat you like that.
Yeah,
fucked.
yeah.
Thanks, ManyVids.
I got Bella French in my fucking Twitter DMs, but I can't get any
Yeah.
fucking proper support out of
Right,
ManyVids.
right.
It's
Damn it.
these days it's not really Bella.
I mean, God,
she-
I hope not.
she
Hey, Bella, if you're
tweets.
listening, I really hope not.
She tweets like she's still making decisions.
No, that's
But
true.
that's part of like the girl boss brand, right? That's
Yeah,
part of,
but you
like,
know what?
yeah.
You never call anyone a boy boss.
It's okay to just say boss.
Yeah. I think a lot about this because I
Yeah,
really
no, but
want
boys are
to-
usually the fucking boss. They don't get
Yeah,
a
Well, that's-
but
title.
well,
have you ever
that's the
called
point.
a guy a boy boss?
No, because
You should.
he's
10 out of 10, you should. They hate it.
Oh,
Nobody wants
okay.
to have that gendered until it's a girl boss thing versus a boy boss thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just being facetious saying it. You know, I don't fucking subscribe to all
Yeah.
that shit.
Now we're pointing out an inequity,
yeah.
and
Absolutely.
Steph is here going, but like they're boys though, but they're generally men.
Well, here's
Well, no, I just mean like, but misogyny? Like,
well, okay,
the
but what?
patriarchy?
But what about it?
You know what? I figured out what's going on here. We're all on different levels of meta.
Yeah. no.
But yeah, no, it's a son of a bitch. It's a
Oh
son
yeah.
of a bitch.
So I think I started the day with probably somewhere around 10 folds in my gray matter, and I've now ended it with one. There's a single fold.
They use you up.
That's it. It was mind-numbing,
oh, man.
soul-crushing re-edits.
How many did you get through?
10.
Just 10.
10. That's all I could stomach.
Yeah.
It took me like 3-4 hours to do.
And is today day 1 of the 14-day?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do 10 a day with like
Oh, yeah.
4 days
yeah.
of
Yeah. With weekends
Rest.
off.
Oh, my God, that's fucked.
Yeah.
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 And
I'm gonna cry when they eventually come to me because
Oh, man.
I've had an outro that's like, "Hey, thanks for buying my videos. I'm Sydney Screams. Email me for customs. Here's my website. Blah blah blah." My hardcore store has like 300 videos, and my fetish store gets 5 updates a week for over the last 2 years
God.
now. I will literally
workflow's
cry,
crazy.
and I will just be like, "All right, delete all my shit. You're not getting my money anymore. I don't have
God.
time for this."
Yeah.
I mean, I actually played that angle with them. I was
Yeah.
like, if you delete my stuff, you're only harming yourselves and me.
right.
Like
Yeah.
you're not going to take. I have 150 videos on my ManyVids right now. 149 to be specific. I know this number because I spent a lot of time on fucking ManyVids. But I have 149 total videos on my ManyVids. It's essentially my entire catalog that has been released so far. 100 videos, roughly, is what they want me to re-edit. And if they remove that, I'm left with 49 fucking videos on my site. And you know how much they're going to make money off of? 10, 14.
And when you speak reason to these people, you never get a human
No.
response back. They don't give a shit.
No.
They choose not to address the points I make.
Yeah.
So you're not YouTubers, you're whores. You don't get
Right?
to connect outside things. You're
I'm-
going to be doing sex work.
I'm so sorry, dear
Yeah.
Minivid support person. I don't know who you are, but like I show my asshole on the internet for a living, you know?
It's just,
Quit being whorephobic.
you know,
You're in
it's
the
just
business.
some person in India that doesn't have a script for those specific kinds of questions. It's comply or die. That's it.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you know, you need to press this TOS change or whatever, you know, and there's no negotiating around it.
Nope. It's the worst.
So that's what I did today. I did not film.
And these platforms are necessary for us to make money off of, even while they literally hate sex workers more and more every fucking day. And they still rely on us for their income, but they want to slap the hand that feeds them. And it's not even like the sites specifically, it's the credit card companies that make it even worse. And like,
It's systemic.
why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ever since Sesta Fosta, which was around like 2017, 2018, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's just gotten worse.
Yeah.
And even with the rise of new platforms, because technically OnlyFans was around then, but when the pandemic hit and it boomed, like suddenly OnlyFans started slowly hating sex workers more and more and more and more and more.
After you made your money, then you say, oh, okay, well, hey, actually, we don't want y'all making money.
Yeah.
We've already made money off you, but don't keep making money.
Yeah. We only want money from people that are actually sort of vanilla, not sex workers.
Right. But, well, there was such I imagine, you know, it was such a huge influx that with the rule of large numbers is there's too much room for like potential chaos that will fuck with the credit card processors that we got to like really clamp down. It was easy to manage when the numbers were smaller, but now everybody has to be vanilla or else we run the risk of losing our business because of Visa and MasterCard.
I always thought it was more about like them wanting to go publicly traded because they were privately owned and wanted to get the investors get out into the stock market, become publicly traded.
Is there, that's interesting that you say that. And I mean, I've been around forever, but I've never looked into this particular thing. Is there a publicly traded adult company?
I don't think that there is, but a few years ago, Disney was trying to buy Twitter, and the reason that Disney did not buy Twitter was because of the porn problem.
Of course. Of course.
Of course, we got stuck with the fucking
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to worry about that anymore because Twitter's no longer publicly traded. So
That just seems like some real, I mean, if that's the case on Manyvid's part, that's some real pie in the sky thinking. Really? You're going to get publicly traded?
yeah,
when-
they are pivoting now to do
Yeah.
what OnlyFans had originally wanted. Well, 2 years ago, OnlyFans wanted. to.
Well, they started out dick first, so.
But isn't that so funny that Manyvid saw OnlyFans flail around
Right.
and ultimately fail
Yeah.
at fixing their branding issue and their image to become publicly traded? And Manyvid said, you know what? I think that looks right. Let's do that too.
Yeah.
I see what you've done for them. I want that for me.
Did that meme with those guys in the studio that's like, yep, that looks about right. Go ahead and drop it.
Oh, yeah. And it's like you've already seen this play out. Like going to Manyvid's TV, Manyvid's whatever, you know, and pushing that vanilla content, cooking shows.
Yeah, OFTV
shows.
now. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, who's watching it?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
who are you advertising this to? Because the people who go to your site are porn consumers. They're there for the porn. I'm sure they also enjoy cooking and fitness and whatever else you're going to put on there. But
Right, but nobody's going there when you could go to YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one thinks Manyvids
Right.
for fitness content.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks Manyvids for cooking content.
No.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
some behind the scenes stuff for this podcast, that was one of the avenues I was going to, you know, put the podcast on.
I mean, we're porn people, though.
But that's the only in, you know, is because it's industry related and I don't expect a lot of traffic.
Well,
I don't.
So,
You know what the
from
problem
Manyvid.
is? It's his greed. They make all they can off of sex workers, and they say, well, let's make more from the general public.
right.
So let's kick these sex workers to the side. I bet you we can make more from the general public. Bet you we can become like YouTube or TikTok. Everybody's trying to be TikTok now.
It's
Everybody
ridiculous.
wants to be TikTok. Yeah. But
I mean, there are so many adult TikTok clones now. There's
Yeah.
sex.com. There's FipFap or some bullshit like that. I don't even remember the name of it.
Just go to Pornhub and then you'll have an ad that pop up and say, adult TikTok.
Yeah.
You should meet with girls online or whatever.
It's ridiculous. And even some of those companies that were trying to mimic TikTok's popularity, Sex.com sent out an email to their creators last week saying that they're moving away from the TikTok business model into something else. Yeah. And like Sex.com is one of the highest visited sites out there because you've got all of these people who are younger in age who want to be like, hey, I'm going to go to sex.com. And that's where their traffic comes from.
It's the whitehouse.com of the internet age.
Yes,
the
it
21st
really is.
century whitehouse.com.
But sex.com has been one of the top sites that people have visited for years now because it's the younger demographic that is just getting into porn and stuff like that.
People who don't know better.
Yeah,
Right.
They don't know better. And even last week, they were like, okay, this business model is not profitable for us. We're going to switch it up again. Yeah. Because it wasn't always a TikTok clone. It used to be like you could post your own porn profile there, and it was almost like a search engine for porn stars, but you had to have a profile there. And now it's a TikTok clone, and now they're moving away from it. And all of that is in less than 4 years.
Yeah.
Wait, do I have a profile there?
No.
I was gonna say I never asked for one, but sometimes
white labels.
People
No.
apparently have a net worth of like $3 million or something according to Google.
Baby, why are you holding out on me?
I don't know.
Where is my Barbie Jeep?
Somebody calculated my net worth and came to the conclusion of $3 million. And
I was promised a Barbie Jeep.
Nobody asked me what my net worth was because it was like $3.
Pink cotton candy color Barbie Jeep.
Look.
Jamie's like, this is supposed to be an interview, and I have no question.
No, it's not that. It's just word to the wise. These like avenues of distribution.
Oh yeah.
Wear punk rock on your sleeve because that's all this is ever going to be. If you try to diversify and try to go into other avenues, that's bad for the content creators, and you're not going to get what you need in order to make your business profitable. Just wear it on your sleeve. Just be sex work. Just be sex work.
Tumblr caved in the last, I think it was year and a half. They now allow adult content on there again.
In forms, right? Not
It's art nudes.
Yeah.
not full blown stuff.
It's
that
not
Boobies, black and white boobies.
yeah.
It's
Well, the celebrities on Instagram can do it, so why can't Tumblr do it?
I mean, Tumblr is for real artists. Yeah. Okay? That's where real artists live.
I'm sorry, I thought that was deviant art.
No. So you're
I remember the days when real artists existed on Backpage.
There you go. You know what? Backpage, nothing came of that. They went after Backpage, and Backpage triumphed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that just happened recently,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. You don't hear about that, especially if you're just a consumer, out in the mainstream.
I mean, consumers don't even know why they can't buy content on Pornhub anymore.
There you go.
I've been asked this question for years at this point. Pornhub hasn't monetized their site since 2020 when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, when Visa fucked them.
Yeah, and consumers who don't know, still ask me, why can't I buy your content on Pornhub anymore?
Yep.
They're trying, but they're in the midst of correcting mistakes. So I get emails all the time because I have a Pornhub account, a model account, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, they're doing their, what they think is their due diligence, which in a way is correct. But you got to go through, and in order to have any of your content monetized, because they've created this, I forget what the name of it is.
YouView.
Yeah, YouView. We got to propagate, all of our 2257s again, all of our, models, and identification is key, or else nothing's going to exist on a monetized platform.
But they've also made
that they're trying to bring back.
Difficult. They've made it incredibly difficult to do that.
Yeah.
And you're still having to tag models with their legal names when you are tagging them as your co-stars. And I don't know my co-stars' legal names, and I don't fucking want to know their legal names. I know I have to have it for legal reasons, but me as a human being, Sydney Screams does not need to know anyone's legal names.
On my end, I do actually, I'm a record keeper. I have all that stuff for the things that are meant to be monetized that come out of trade content and stuff. I have all that stuff, but it is a hassle, like the thing that you're going through.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and I went through and I saw all the things that they need me to upload and all the different performers. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be like a 2 or 3 day chore.
Yeah.
So I'm not touching it yet. I have the means to do it, but I'm going to have to take fucking 3 days out of my time just to propagate that list.
And time is valuable when you're an entrepreneur, which is what we all are. We all make our money ourselves. We have to work for our money. No one's giving us paid time off. No one's paying us to do this administrative bullshit that the sites don't even legally need have any of that.
So let me,
any of it.
Let me actually talk about that a bit, because like I did consulting with Pornhub specifically after the buyout, and they were asking us like all the right questions. We were giving them the right answers as far as like us, the performers, the content creators are concerned. You know, like, hey, we collect the paperwork. We have all of our documentation. We'd be happy to show it. You don't need to hold it.
No.
You know, like we have it. We have either a custodian or it is ourselves. We have our own record keeping, whatever. But the site doesn't need to hold that, because for them, you know, it's server space. For them, it's a security risk.
Right.
For us, it's legally required.
Yeah.
Right. And so we obviously have it.
Yeah.
And if we need to upload a little piece of paper, you know, when we're uploading a video or whatever to show it, that's all you got to do. And
the thing is, it used to be that way.
They loved all these answers we gave them. Obviously, you know, pressure from outside forces.
It used to be we assume that you have it, and if anything comes into question, we'll ask you, and if you can't provide, your content gets taken down.
That's it, and that's all it should
Easy
be.
peasy.
And they were all on board with that, but obviously you see UView being, you know, operated in a different direction.
Yeah, it used to be just paperwork done and put in a drawer. Never thought of ever again.
Exactly. And now the sites all require you to have paperwork to
And backs of
give to them.
IDs. When the fuck did that become a
What the
thing?
fuck is a back of an ID supposed to do?
What the fuck is that supposed to
You
do?
can have the same back.
barcode. It's the barcode. It is attached.
Nobody's scanning that.
But like, what are you scanning it?
Nobody's-
They stand it
nobody's-
at the dispensaries.
Nobody. Oh my god.
And that made like, that was just like another hurdle to jump through, because you have like everything on board and whatnot.
And then you've got
they
the
say,
bunny ears too. And for me, one of the biggest problems I've had is a lot of these sites are incredibly transphobic in how they review
God.
this.
Yeah.
Because I've got models who don't have their gender gender marker changed, still using their dead name on their IDs because they haven't had it changed, and sites will bounce back and be like, that ID does not match the person. And I'm like, excuse me, you transphobic piece of shit. Yes, it fucking does.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, these large conglomerates don't give a shit about what it is to live on the front lines of this industry.
No.
We are just seen as a vague potentiality of content manufacturing.
Income.
And so
I think
it's
they
just
called
we
us
have
pieces
to
of meat at some point, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I think I was literally a hole to be fucked
yeah.
by someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, actually my favorite part of the bunny ears shit is OnlyFans, when you have to hold 2 forms of ID and their paperwork, but your fingers can't cover anything.
Yeah.
And you have to have it close to your face. All of it has to be legible, and you can't cover up any part of your face.
Right.
I don't have enough hands.
It's
for
like
that.
I have 2 fucking hands. I can't hold 3 pieces of content,
And you
not
can't
showing
put-
my fingers.
You can't put it in your mouth either, because then part of your face isn't visible.
Right.
I could tear OnlyFans to its fucking foundation, and they would never give a shit.
So it's on sex workers to evolve. We need to get more fucking limbs, okay?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was born with only 2 arms. That's on me. Honestly,
How dare you.
It goes back to my earliest days of fucking up.
The 4 of us in here, we could all technically be called producers. And then I have conversations with producers for big companies like Team Skeet. And the producer I was talking with had no idea what Sesta Fosta was. No fucking clue. None at all. And I'm like, how do you, a apparently allegedly responsible member of this industry, not know about a law that is deeply affecting your bottom dollar?
I've always said this about working in the adult entertainment industry, is that it is dudes with cameras, top to bottom, but it's some folks have bigger, shinier logos, but it's just dudes with cameras.
Yeah. No, that's it.
There is no regulation. There is no.
At least the studio
This
system.
has always been punk rock.
Obviously. Yeah.
In America, I imagine it will always be punk rock because there's never going to be like a.
The only way you're going to become legitimatized is if fucking sex work becomes legitimatized. Like, there's no other way you can fucking say, oh well, we're gonna kind of just keep this to the side and also continue to try to do this. No, you're not going to be able to do it.
No, but actually, I think you're totally spot on with the punk rock specification because a lot of times, like, the people who own these brands or whatever are investors, people with money who saw an opportunity, a need, a way to capitalize on an opening in the market. They're not
Venture
punk
capital,
rock folks like us.
They're not
they're
in
not
getting their
fucking-
hands dirty. Or
Exactly.
anything.
They're not us breaking the rules, fucking shaping shit.
Yay, venture capitalism.
It's that. It's a combination of that, which is the majority of them, and then a little bit people with deep pockets that want to, like, they have their own personal, like, just male-driven, dick-driven fantasies about being a part of this industry, and then they realize, oh, it's punk rock. This is harder than I thought it was going to be, and they dip out.
Oh, yeah.
Companies come and go so fucking quickly
Honestly,
in this
yeah.
industry. And, like, I've been doing this since 2009. Yeah, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. And, like, the number of companies that I've seen come and go, the number of individuals that I've seen come and go, everyone comes into this industry expecting this is a get rich quick. And it's
Very much not.
very much
I would
not.
love that to be true.
Jesus, yeah. If it was get rich quick and you've been doing this since 2009, so you're not very
I'd
good
be
at
a
it. But
fucking billionaire at this point.
but here's the thing, like, I know that you are actually one of the best in the field.
Shut up. No, I'm not.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
Best in the field. Best belly in the biz. I've been trying to make that tagline take off for probably about a year or two now.
Yeah, I
What was the
tweeted
tagline again?
Best belly in the biz.
Do you need to see it just for you?
Best belly. Show off that belly.
That's,
Show off that belly.
that's still BBB. Best.
Best belly in the biz.
It's a cute
This is
belly.
as racy
Look at that
as
belly.
we've gotten on the
Look at
show.
that belly.
Woo,
This
woo.
is for you, Patreon.
Hey,
If you're not a viewer
if you're not
on the Patreon,
yep, you just
You're
missed
missing
out.
out.
You missed out on all that jiggle.
you
It's a
missed
good
out
jiggle.
on the best belly in the biz.
It's a good belly.
It's the best belly.
So I got to ask you, knowing what we know now, how awful all this is, what drove you to do this?
For me, initially, I had a day job and I was in college and I was
This is
still
like 2009-ish, you're
somehow.
saying?
Yeah, 2009. I had just gotten back from studying abroad in Australia, and I was peer pressured into some friends into modeling on camera. At first, just doing like pinup stuff, and then on Model Mayhem back in the day, someone reached out and was like, "Hey, do you want to do a foot fetish shoot? You just like walk on me for."
This is a guy
2
that hit you
hours,
up
50
on Model Mayhem? Okay.
Yeah. He asked me to do a
Yeah.
foot fetish shoot, just walk all over him for 2 or 3 hours. I forgot.
He wanted to be walk on for
the
2 to
endurance.
3 hours.
Yeah.
The fucking endurance. Wow.
Well,
How do
it wasn't
you-
like consistent 2 or 3 hours, but
It's a 2 or 3 hour session.
Well,
and
that's kind of
Okay.
the thing, and I don't want to interrupt your story too much, but you're coming from 2009. We're coming from around the same age. And
yeah, you and I started
having
very
a Model
close.
Mayhem account got you, like, you wanted to be a part of something creative. You wanted to, like, match up with a kick-ass photographer, do something fun,
Yeah.
make a cool image of yourself, maybe help out their creative endeavors. But then there also being, guys with cameras. And those would be the ones that hit you up that got you into this weird low-level fucking gutter porn in hotel rooms.
that's all the fetish
Yes.
producers.
Right.
Yeah.
Which originally then went to Clip for Sale, right?
Literally. So the
elevated.
the shoot that I had when I was there, I was like, "So what is this for?" And he's like, "It's for Clips for Sale." And I was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a site where you like sell fetish videos." And I was like, "Oh, is there a lot of money in that?" And he's like, "Well, I'm buying a boat in cash next week." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a broke college student making $200 a week at my part-time job, and you just said you're buying a boat for cash? Tell me more. Tell me more."
I've been bugging our guests so much for this exact kind of story. I'm always looking for this punchline. That moment that you saw, I was living a quote unquote regular, normal life, and then something flipped, and we started to go, oh, let me dip into the dark side. Because the moment that you saw that life could be different, living within the margins of society, it completely alters the course of your life. I have a very similar story with like
does.
escorting, but it's the punchline's essentially the same. You're like, oh, wait a minute, life can be different. We can go another way.
Exactly. I wanted to get out of, I don't want to say my family was in poverty, but I wanted a better life for myself than what my parents had and what they were able to give me and my brother. And I was like, buy a boat with cash. That sounds really fucking appealing. And it took me probably about a year after that to get my own Clips for Sale launched. But I've been on Clips for Sale so long. I remember when they still had the black and red admin area, which, unless you've been around for a fucking minute, nobody remembers that because it was somehow fucking worse than their current admin system. And
How?
That is
well,
some super specific old West internet knowledge.
Exactly. And so I started my Clips for Sale store about a year after that shoot, and I did foot fetish and funny faces. And I would just make silly faces for 3 to 4 minutes. Just
I gotta interrupt you. I'm looking over at Cassandra here, and we did the same thing. For those that are watching, and we did the same thing. When she said the funny faces thing, we both, Casey and I, we both moved over to the side and went, what?
yeah. I used to have this guy every fucking week. He'd send me $50 to make him a new funny faces video, and I always put them on Clips for Sale, and they always did really well until I kind of aged out of that, and like people no longer wanted that type of content, so I started doing other things, and like now here I am sometimes doing full-on fucking productions, not just me, my camera, my tripod, my bedroom. Sometimes it's like Cassie on camera doing like really intense, I don't want to say really intense stuck videos, but I'm getting stuck in my fucking window and I need people to help me with that. And Jamie's
I find this fascinating. There's no judgment in my confused look. I just find it fascinating. and I don't want to derail you, but I can just me for my own personal edification. Can I see what an example of a funny face would be? What are these dudes paying for? What would you do?
Oh gosh, things like crossing my eyes and touching my nose with my tongue.
That's it. That draws income.
Yeah.
It did.
It did for me. But back in the day, like I also would make nose blowing videos or shaving my legs or brushing my teeth. Or I told Cassie about this the other day and she's like, excuse me, what? But like brushing your teeth with your finger.
This blew my fucking mind. This blew my fucking mind. Brushing your teeth with your finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is somebody's fetish out there enough to buy a clip? And I'd never heard of this before.
It used to be that hot girls could just live their life on camera and make money. And like, granted, I wasn't making a ton of money, but for little broke 19-year-old Sydney, making $200 a month on Clips for Sale was, fuck, I got baller money. I can go to the Coach store now. Fuck yeah. You know, and now I'm just like, gosh, I wish I was balling like that still. Now that's like 2 dinner dates for Cassie and I.
Yeah. It's nothing. Yeah.
It's McDonald's too.
That's going to Outback twice.
It's like 3.5 DoorDash orders.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
2 1/3 bloomin' onion.
What's your porn story aside from being peer pressured into it?
I love it when a guest asks the host questions.
Yeah, I know.
You were
Take
taking
the
a sip.
responsibility.
Yeah.
You were taking a sip. I didn't want you to have to.
This is a trooper. This is somebody that works.
Well, we want to acknowledge how responsible this side of the table is.
We know how to get shit done.
Yeah.
The Get Shit Done crew.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So Kelly, tell me your story.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm actually previously married. I am a divorced porn star. My ex-wife was a fetish performer, and
Which is how we met.
Exactly. Yep. So
Let's create a sense of a timeline.
Okay, so let's see. My ex-wife was performing 2010 through 2014, 15-ish, somewhere around there, doing mostly foot-centered stuff, wrestling, tickling content. You know, true fetish.
And you're married to this person this entire time, so like 2010 or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing while they were doing that?
I'm a military veteran, actually.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't really advertise it a lot, which is
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to fill in the gaps.
well,
for the
no.
sake of
So
the story.
this is a little gem for your listeners, and if you're watching on the Patreon,
Hold on,
right
hold
now,
we have an approximate podcast exclusive from Chrysanthemum.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Ass in the ass.
Pass in the ass. So at the time I was in the U.S. Air Force, and my ex-wife wife at the time was performing, and I really wasn't involved too much. I basically just saw the aftermath where she came home, was high on endorphins, cash flying out of the whatever, and she's just having a great time of it, and I'm like, okay, well, I could do that, like it's. I show my feet, I could wrestle, it's whatever.
Just human, just because I'm trying to figure out this story. I feel some things in my heart. What did you feel about while you were in the military?
Oh, I'm
did
good.
Did you have any thoughts about
No.
what she was up to?
No,
nothing
not at all. No, everyone in my workplace knew exactly what was happening. It was totally kosher.
And where I got to ask this because I think it's going to be pertinent, especially for listeners that might have similar stories. Where were you in your transition?
This is pre-transition.
Okay.
This is pre-transition. We ended up divorcing in time for me to locate from Florida to California and transition alone.
Oh, I see.
I did that. I took that thought experiment of what is better for you to do. Are you better off transitioning in an area where you have support and everyone knows you, or are you better off transitioning in an area where no one knows who the fuck you are, but you don't have that support network?
Right.
So I chose to go where no one knew who the fuck I was.
And so it never came up during this initial marriage.
Correct. Yeah. So
They had no idea.
she knew I was trans. She knew I was trans. I just was not transitioning. We separated due to other factors.
Unrelated.
Oh. I go to California, right? I reconnect with Sydney, who was now living in Las Vegas at the time.
You say reconnect. You guys knew each other before.
Yeah.
Yeah. My ex-wife had worked with Sydney.
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
We officially met at a dungeon in Orlando called the Woodshed, and
Woodshed.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
Woodshed.
Shout out to the woodshed.
Within the first hour and a half of meeting Cassie, she was on a St. Andrew's cross getting flogged by me.
A true bottom. Reconnected with Sydney. I was looking at getting out of the military now that I started transitioning and realized just how fucking transphobic the U.S. military is. And this is pre-Trump ban. When the ban came down, I was essentially grandfathered through it. I was allowed to continue serving. They loopholed me and got me out later, but and that was fine because I was fucking fed up with it, getting treated like shit every day. So I see the writing on the wall, the door, the end of the tunnel's right there. I remember what my ex-wife did. Sydney's right here. Sydney's like, we can shoot a video. So we get it. Sydney got a toy.
I spent a long amount of time encouraging Cassie not to
That's true.
be in
That's
the
true.
industry, to be honest.
The real story is that Sydney was like, you should not join porn.
It's fucking hard as fuck.
You should not do this. It's terrible. It's hard on you. You will suffer.
I
And
love
was-
to hear
and I was-
that.
And I was like, you know what? Nah.
No, seriously, this I relate to, and I think it's a story that comes up a lot in couples that deal with being in the adult entertainment industry. I have a girlfriend that I've been a girlfriend with for 5 years, and she's been accosted by everybody
Sure.
to be in porn.
Yeah.
She's adjacent to the porn industry, but she has no designs on doing it. And when we first started dating, she and I told her, because she knows who I am, and she was super cool with it. I was like, don't do this. Don't do this. I know you hate your day-to-day job, but if you don't have a natural predisposition to do this, don't get pressured into it.
Yeah.
I'll never pressure you into it. I'll never try to make you a thing. You seem like a pure person. You don't
Hold on to that.
hold on to that.
But really, that is the most responsible thing to say to someone because, first of all, you don't want to have that on conscience if something bad happens to them and you're like,
Absolutely.
oh fuck, I pressured them into this. You don't ever want that on your conscience. But secondly, it is a really hard industry. This is some hard ass work.
Yeah, it
I
is.
tried to tell you. I warned you.
No, I mean you're absolutely right, and you did your best to warn me, and I accepted it, and now here.
And you're dumbass. You went and you did it anyway.
I went and did it anyway.
And
You know
you've
what? Just
done
sign me
really
up.
awesome, and I'm really fucking proud of all of
Well,
the work that you do.
Thank you. I've come a long way. So my first video was actually with Sydney. I know this is a shocker. Sydney got a toy to test.
Yeah, from it was Dragon from Mr. Hanky's,
Yep.
and it was their size small. Which, if you know anything, their small is this size.
Yeah,
Buddy,
for people that are looking at the video,
I'm
Forearm
holding
and
up my
fist.
arm and
an
my
entire
fist.
forearm and fist.
Yeah.
So a little too big for Sydney to take.
Yeah, way
So
too big for
needed
Sydney
a
to take.
professional bottom. In comes
Cue you.
In comes Cassie Cummings.
Ass with the ass.
Cass with the ass.
You came ready to work.
She did.
Hey, storage space is at a premium.
Times are tough.
you know what?
Times are tough out
Fist
there.
bump on that.
Okay.
Hit you with a good joke.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, I was prepared.
Do you have a professional relationship with Hanky's Toys?
Yeah, I guess you could say I do.
Well, I was asking Cassandra here.
I do, but she does not.
Yeah, I did previously.
Oh, okay.
I did previously.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, this might be just a thing of the past. We don't care anymore. But if need be, I can get you any toy you want.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You're already covered. You're covered.
You and me both, Jamie. We
Okay.
got this.
Look. So if you come over to our house,
Okay.
we have
Display cases.
We have display cases full of toys.
Yep.
Sydney is now essentially, taking on a
Connoisseur.
professional role within the toy industry.
Yeah,
And so,
I'm kind of a buyer now for a toy company. So
oh yeah. So Sydney's office is covered in unopened boxes, open boxes waiting to be tested, toys that have been tested but have not been fully reviewed yet.
Fucking A.
And
I have a bookcase full of new in-box toys
I mean-
that are just waiting for me to masturbate more.
we have toys on toys on toys on toys, and like Sydney said, they're working as a buyer now. They're going to conventions for toys. They're talking to different company leads, different folks. I don't want to say it. I'm going to back off that one.
Oh, hey, some things you gotta keep close to your chest. I get it. I get it.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But,
No worries. No
but,
worries. It's exciting. This has been an amazing, fun conversation.
Yeah.
They're killing it. You're killing it. Y'all are killing it. I'm excited for my friends who are killing it.
Yeah, exactly.
We kill
yeah.
it together because we are seriously probably the best team I could have ever possibly.
I want to
fucking
see a
hoped
fist
for.
bump on camera. Look at the camera right
Yes.
there. Fuck yeah. BBB, motherfucker.
So if you're watching on the Patreon, you just saw that kick-ass fist bump between a hustler named Porn Power Couple.
It's true. We were in Hustler magazine or Hustler online magazine as a porn power couple.
Fantastic. I love it.
We work really well together, you could say.
Yeah.
I hate to do this. We are actually coming up to
Son of a
the top of the show.
I could keep talking to y'all for another 10 hours.
I
or
barely
something.
scratched the surface.
I know, right?
I say we're coming up at the top show.
Yeah.
We're coming down to the bottom of the show.
I have a whole binder full of things.
I gotta ask you this
Binder full of
because
women.
we literally have about 7 minutes.
Okay.
So I gotta ask you this because this is the way we wrap up every show. You guys are consummate professionals. I'm gonna any, mini, money, mo, and pick at the first person. You, Sydney. 3 pieces of advice that you'd give to up and comers in this industry.
Treat this like any fucking job. Any fucking job. Be professional. Always. Be respectful of your co-stars. Even if you are not a collaborator, be respectful of the people that are your colleagues in this industry, because at the end of the day, your colleagues are always going to be the ones uplifting you, making you feel better, helping you through your toughest times. And don't do stuff you don't want to do. Just fucking don't, because there are
It's okay to say no.
Exactly.
Mhm.
There are a
Absolutely.
million other
Know your
ways to
limits.
make
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
and it's not worth it. Trust me. You can put a dollar sign on things, but as soon as you put a dollar sign on things, it loses something. And that sucks.
That's amazing advice. It's great. And it's advice we've heard time and time again. It's a real thing. This is
It
part of the
is.
human condition.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
What is the second piece of advice?
Oh, sorry. I thought
was all three.
That was all three.
That was all three.
That was
Oh,
all
that was
three.
Sydney dropped.
Well, okay. Well, no,
I tried to be
because
fast. We have 7
knowledge
minutes.
bomb.
we're good. This is how professional they are. They don't want to fuck up the timeline.
Shouldn't see, okay?
But that's okay. That's okay. Let me get a number 2 from you. Let's say a piece of practical advice, like being on set or something practical.
Always have baby wipes.
That's
Always have baby
absolutely
wipes.
valid. That's absolutely yes.
Whether it's for tit sweat, ass sweat, armpit sweat, cum,
Even cleaning your
squirt,
feet between takes.
cleaning your
right?
feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always
Podcast.
fucking clean your feet.
Podcast.
Unless it's a dirty
Baby
foot
wipes.
video,
Yeah.
then don't clean your
That's a
feet.
little
But every other time, clean your fucking feet.
That's yes. This is
Absolutely.
You'd be
pretty fucking good.
surprised. You'd be surprised, and I'm sure you've done it time and time again. You show up on set, and somebody's ill prepared, and they're like, and you are the person that has the baby wipes,
I'm
and
the
you got to give it
person-
to a co-performer that didn't know better.
I'm the person that showed up to a gangbang yesterday with 6 dicks in my bag, and 5 of them got used by my co-stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get one last piece of advice before I move it on to Katarina here.
Charlemagne would love to answer the same question.
Oh my god.
Give me one last kernel
One last kernel of what? Do you want some
of
popcorn?
advice.
But yeah.
Mother.
One last
Spicy.
one last kernel of advice. Oh fuck, this is complicated and now I can't think of anything.
Well-
Eat before you fucking film. I don't give
Oh,
a
I'm going to
Energy,
disagree
right?
with this one.
Okay,
Okay,
this is
Yeah,
interesting.
I disagree.
Kinda too.
So-
We in a minute. What are the advantages of eating before?
If your blood sugar drops because if you're doing something really physically intensive, you have the possibility of passing out, and that's fucking scary, not just for you, but also for the people on set with you. And the number of times that I have been on set with someone who hasn't properly nourished their own bodies, whether that is with a protein shake, a fucking soup, something. Put something in your fucking system. That way you are being safe, because as soon as you are not being safe, that's when shit goes wrong.
Absolutely. I'll put a bow on that by saying when you're on set, whether you've eaten or not, although you find from your perspective that it's a good thing to do, generally
Speaking of eating.
like we keep things like gummy bears on set.
Yeah.
Something
Gummy
to
bears.
like
Yeah.
you know
Gummy bears and baby wipes, the
Gummy
unsung
bears.
heroes of
That's
porn.
it.
Yes.
Honestly.
right.
Yes.
Something to keep your blood sugar up
Yep.
that's not super filling, depending on the activity involved in the scene that you're shooting on that day.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to move over to Katarina and say, what are 3 pieces of advice that you'd give to an up-and-comer in this industry?
So I'm gonna actually start with the disagreement here, because I would not. If you're a trans
You got 4
star-
minutes.
If you're a trans star coming up and comer, or even just anyone getting into anal specifically,
Right.
do not show up to set with a full stomach.
I didn't say full stomach.
I'm just saying
Stomach.
the gummy bears. This is I think is the hardest part about anal, and for us as trans performers is because
That's your
that's my whole.
your
Yeah,
whole.
Gummy bears. I could unfortunately have to live on gummy bears for a whole fucking day before my scenes, because I don't
And
want to
soup.
have and soups, because you don't want anything squeaking through, and it happens. Jamie knows.
No chunky bits.
I shit on Jamie once.
There's a whole backstory we don't have time to explain.
We don't have time. I'm so sorry. There's 3 minutes left, and I just dropped that nugget. Get it?
Goddamn cliffhanger
it?
there.
I'll record a whole new fucking bonus
See,
podcast
this is
just
how
to talk about
this
that.
is how I guarantee I'm coming back. But yeah, living on soups and gummy bears, because you don't want anything. You got to be a professional. You got to make sure that your body is right for what you're doing, and this is high intensity work.
It is.
If you're not in shape, you're not riding that dick.
Right.
If your stomach's not right, you're not deep throating.
Right.
Probably not doing anal either. And if you aren't properly stretched out, or you've been reckless with it, you might have torn something.
Right.
You're not doing anal that day either.
You want to be the best person that you can be, the
You
best
gotta treat your
performer,
body
the best
like an
professional that you
athlete
can be.
does, almost.
You want to show up on set to where nobody can fuck with you because you did your due diligence.
Exactly.
I always say we're sex athletes. God damn it.
We are sex athletes.
Yeah.
And I think that's my first piece of advice is treat your body right.
Right. Give me 2 more.
2 more. Okay. Say no. Say no often. Say no often. If someone else says, hey, like I had a bad experience with whoever, whatever, like be like, okay, cool. I'll take your story. I'm going to go get a reference from somebody else if you really feel you need a second opinion. Or just listen. Just listen to people.
right.
If they say, hey, I had a bad experience with somebody, be like, cool.
Pay attention to red flags. And be able
Exactly.
to
Pay
say,
attention to those
say
red flags.
no.
Be like, I am going to keep my head on a swivel.
You may feel like it comes at the cost of a gig, but in the long run,
Yeah.
it will
There's
behoove
always
you
more
to
money
say
to
no.
make.
There's-
The machine never stops.
Exactly.
We're just the meat that gets grinded through the machine, but the machine never stops.
Exactly. The machine never stopped. And I think you fucking nailed it on the top of the head when you were saying it's from bottom to top, guys with cameras. You say no to a guy with a camera, he might think he's some big shot or whoever. And
There are a
somebody else
million
might
other
think
ones.
somebody else might think he's a big shot. But you know what? Right behind him is another fucking guy with a camera you could work with.
Who
Right
probably will
fucking
treat
behind
you
him.
better.
Yep.
Will probably treat you better, and you won't end up with like lasting scars or abuse, whatever. And like you're gonna have a better time. You're gonna last longer. You still make the same amount of money.
Right.
Yep.
Say no often.
Say
It
no to
evens
guys
out.
with cameras. Only work with like other cool female performers.
Yeah.
Saying no it doesn't end your career.
It does.
It's
Oh
just
God, no! It does.
it all evens out. It's
It
okay to
does
say no.
not end
If
your
anything,
career
it
at all.
makes you more powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Third thing.
Third piece. Okay.
You got a minute.
Oh,
Have a
gosh.
great ass. And
No,
name yourself Cassie with the assy.
knowing your angles is great, but knowing how to light a scene is better.
Ooh, yes.
That's a big one.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Mhm.
So I think that was a pretty good,
Oh yeah, it's a
quick
good one
one.
to end on. Yeah.
quick one.
We still have 30 seconds, so I will like extrapolate on that. Everything is dependent upon lighting. This is what it is to make visual media,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And your scene, no matter like what you felt that day or like the chemistry that you have with your partner, whatever you think is going on and you're trusting a camera person to like capture the stuff, it's all about trust. Working within a team, within a group,
Yep.
you can only do the one thing that you were hired to do. It would behoove you to pay attention to how the lighting setup is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've told photographers to change their lighting for me because if you're going to shoot me at a particular angle with your lights, it makes my fat look weird.
Right. So
Your-
be
your makeup
knowledgeable.
could be-
Be knowledgeable about lighting.
Yeah, your makeup could be
Yeah.
best in the world that day. Your lighting is going to
Yeah.
tell a different story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It'll negate all of it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And with that being said, holy shit, this has been the most amazing whirlwind. I love it.
Right.
Everybody look at their cameras and say goodbye.
Bye. Thanks
Wave
for
to
having
fans.
me.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks for coming
Listeners.
through, y'all.
Sub to
Absolutely.
Patreon.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Approximate Podcast, and for our Patreon members, thank you so much for watching this. And we will see you on the next episode of the Approximate Podcast.
Woo.
We love you. Goodbye.